Currently, I would like to give thanks, a very thanks to the organizers of this online faculty development program sponsored by Atal Academy on Internet of Things from 6th December to 10th December 2021. First of all, the chief patron of the CEG, Dr. Subhash Garg, Honorable Minister of Technical Education, Government of Rajasthan. Patrons, Shri N.L. Meenaji, Secretary, Department of Technical Education, Government of Rajasthan. Shri Rajesh Kumar Chauhan, Joint Secretary, Department of Technical Education, Government of Rajasthan. And the core team of Dr. Sandeep Kumar, Director, along with Dr. Veerpal Singh, Deputy Director, Training of Center of Electronic Governments, to organize this faculty development program on Internet of Things. I give my sincere thanks for providing me the opportunity on this renowned platform by the CEG. As we all know that CEG is an autonomous institution of Department of Technical Education, Government of Rajasthan. It has been established with the sole aim to provide conducive environment for creating industry employable IT professionals by the way of arranging seminars, lectures, vocational trainings, industry relevant software trainings as well as FDPs. At the same time, it provides a ready-made platform for the interaction between the industry and the trained workforce. So, looking forward to all these things with us in association with AICT, Atal Academy, they are organizing this wonderful platform of Internet of Things FDP. Now, before starting, I would just like to share my screen with you all. I think you all are able to view this screen that I am sharing.
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Just a moment. So, Internet of Things. This is the basic theme of the FDP that has been chosen by Center of Electronic Governments in association with Atal Academy. We have been talking about this Internet of Things since morning, and as we all live in the age of innovation, where digital technology provides the solution to the problems before we have even realized we need them. So this kind of technology, what we are providing is the Internet of through the Internet of Things. We see it every day as we find the new ways across the around us to travel, to eat, to shop, to move across the globe, etc. So these are the technologies through which we are bound right now. So digital technology, what we are doing right now is the learning. It gives us the creativity, and creativity leads us to the thinking. Thinking provides the knowledge, and knowledge makes you the adaptability towards the adaptability. So we all are adapting ourselves towards the new technology that we are bringing together with us. And this new technology, as we all are bringing, is, I think, slide is visible right now. Alok ji, slides are visible.
This is not movable, sir.
Okay, okay. I'll just once again I'll do it.
Click on the slide. So,
No, sir, I think it is visible.
Yes, sir, slide is visible, IoT. Yes, sir.
Now, while we will be discussing about the various the topic that I will be covering today's lecture will be regarding the introduction, that history of IoT, definition, prediction, how IoT works, what are the examples of Internet of Things, what are the protocols, that various protocols that are being used, how IoT will be beneficial to the organization, what is Internet of Things is so important, what are the IoT applications, how the wearable technologies are being utilized by ourselves, smart cities are there, challenges that IoT is doing, advantages, and we will towards the end of the talk we will be developing a particular project, that how we can use and develop a project using the IoT platform that are available, and what will be the future of the IoT. There we will be talking and discussing about the new kind of concept that may be coming in the future. So with the practical hands-on training, we will be working out on some different aspects of the system that we are going to do. Now moving ahead, as we all are discussing right now, that what would be the presentation will look like. So next, the history. As since morning you all will be aware of that, how the history of the IoT might have turned up. The main concept of the Internet of Smart Devices that was discussed as early as in 1982 was modified by the some companies vending machine, where it has become the first ARPANET connected appliances, where coming forward 99 around 90s, the term of Internet of Things was used by Kevin Austin during his work of and that become widely acceptable. In 2004, the term was mentioned in the famous publication of Guardian Boston Globe of South Africa. The United UN's International Telecommunication Union, ITU, has published this report on it, this Internet of Things topic. In 2008, the Internet of Things was born, and since 2011, in this decade, we have heard about the Internet of Things very much. But before moving ahead, this is the basic actual history that we all are talking about, the IoT official history. But if we move slightly way behind in the history, in the ancient era, there also you might find that IoT was in existence. Might not be in the same way that we are looking at right now, as IoT is connected with the technologies. You must all have heard about the legendary epic of Indian subcontinent, that is Mahabharata, where Vidur was sitting at one place. Not Vidur, the Sanjay was sitting on a place near the Maharaja Dhritarashtra, and he was reciting him the live telecast of the place from where the Kurukshetra war, in the Kurukshetra where the famous battle of Mahabharata held. So don't you think that could be another example or the history from where we have started the IoT? How those interconnected values of brain transmission, that he has used the visualization of that particular place of Kurukshetra, sitting in the Maharaja's, in near the Maharaja Dhritarashtra, and he was reciting all those activities live to the Dhritarashtra, that what is happening in that particular place. At that particular time only, the famous work of Bhagavad Gita was narrated to Arjuna by Lord Krishna. So all those activities, don't you think that it has something relation with the IoT? Yes. The technology at that time was far way advanced that we think that it is of today. Even going in the previous era of Ramayana, where you have seen that there was a transmission of various series that while in the battle against the Ravana by the Lord Rama, there was an incident where his younger brother Lord Lakshman was hit by some Meghnad's arrow, and Lord Hanumana went to the Himalayas, check the distance from where he has gone to that particular place, and by how, which means the Sushen Rishi, the Sushen Ayurvedacharya who was residing near in that Sri Lanka place has imaginated that that particular medicine will be found on that particular part. So this is all the interconnection of various activities that has brought us towards the solution towards our current existence problem. So IoT, it may be defined that yes, you can define, we are able to define that IoT is the current existence. But if we go way behind in our history, ancient history, then we can find the glimpses of the technological development or technological advancements that were existence in that era also. So moving ahead, am I audible to all of you? So now coming to the basic definition about the IoT, what IoT basically means. IoT gives, as per the bookish definition, as per the books, the Internet of Things is a system of interrelated computing devices, machines, and digital machines, objects, animals, or people that are providing a unique identifiers and ability to transfer data over the network without requiring human to human or human to computer interface interaction. So this is the bookish definition where you can easily find out that even this definition of the book definition also says that the machines, apart from the machines and objects, the animals and the people, they are all interconnected. They all are treated as a things. So things is what? So Internet of Things, basically it has been covered up, or it has been, this term is made up of two different words. That is Internet and things. Internet, we all are aware of Internet. And in last 2 years pandemic situation, every next corner, even the youngest child of primary school is aware about the Internet. We have transformed our life towards the Internet, dependency towards the Internet. The Internet has become the basic necessity of human being right now. Without Internet, we are not thinking anything more. And Internet has become an integral part of our life. The next term is of things. Things, here, things may be, it may be electronic device, or it may be some other gadget also. That may be mechanical, that may be human, that may be abstract, or may be physical. So everything that is connected or that can transfer or transmit some action, or that can gather any kind of data, that will be treated as the things. So by combining all these basic two things over the platform, over the medium, that is Internet, then this is known as the Internet of Things. So apart from the bookish language, the Internet of Things basically is any two or more physical or abstract entities interconnected with a medium, using that medium as a internet, then it will be treated as the Internet of Things. So another definition that describes Internet of Things, that the Internet of Things describes the network of physical objects, things that are embedded with sensors, softwares, and other technologies for the purpose of connecting and exchanging data with other devices and systems over the internet. Those devices range from an ordinary household object to the sophisticated industrial tools. So this is the wide range or wide coverage of the Internet of Things activity, that how Internet of Things can be arranged or how it can be utilized for the betterment of the mankind, for the sustainable growth of the human nature. So this is the basic definition about the IoT, Internet of Things, that how Internet of Things is working and what Internet of Things may be. So moving ahead, the next towards the next slide is, this is about the prediction, something that how Internet of Things is going to affect our system and how we are adapting. So this is the market overall average growth of the Internet of Things, that where Internet of Things is bridging the gap between the physical and the digital world, has become an important aspect of the progressive world. The internet in hand with the emerging technologies plays a vital role in this process. The internet is the common force that connects all the technological devices in the current day and age. Any physical device that can be connected to the internet and can be used to share, collect data will be treated as the Internet of Things. So this is about the Internet of Things. Right now, currently, the number of IoT devices today officially surpassed the amount of the humans in the world. So this is the important thing that you can mark. I repeat, the number of IoT devices that have officially surpassed the amount of humans in the world. As of today, the current population of human being is around 7.6 billions on this planet today. And the number of devices at the worldwide has surpassed the amount of human beings. And right now, currently, on an average, there will be around 24 billion IoT devices in the world right now, as per the statistics of the Statistia and some official websites others. And the prediction is that by 2030, around 50 billion IoT devices will be used across the globe. See the number of 50 billion. That means on an average, right now, as if we compare to the world, that on an average around 10 interconnected small devices are existing in our homes right now, as you all are also connected through the online FDP. From across the globe, we are interconnected with each other. We all are connecting through some medium. So those devices which are transmitting, I am sitting in another place, host is sitting in another place, the connected people are sitting at another place, and from across the different cities, from all corners of the globe, they are watching this particular FDP. So we can also say that within our own house, we are having around 5 to 7 devices right now interconnected through internet, and that number is rapidly going to increase, and it is expected that by 2025 or 2027, around 25 to 30 25 to 30 interconnected device will be present in everybody's house. That is the transformation, that is the pace at which the IoT devices are growing in the globe. Worldwide IoT spending has already surpassed 1 trillion, $1 trillion economy. That means all those interconnected devices that we are seeing right now in our home, that industry has already grown up to the 1 trillion. So these are ample amount of opportunities that are being available in this IoT technology. Currently, the spending on the IoT endpoint security has reached around 631 million. Around $600 million industry has been created for the security purpose of all those interconnected devices that we are having across the globe. Every second, around 100 devices hook up the internet for the first time. This is to mark again. Every second, 100 more than 100 devices hook up to the internet for the first time. पहली बार इंटरनेट से 100 devices हर सेकंड आपके कनेक्ट हो रहे हैं, and that is adding up to the volume of the IoT devices. There will be around, see, right now we all are talking about the technological transformation. Right now we are using almost in our country, we across the country we are using the 4G cellular subscription. But by 2024, it is expected that around 2 billion people will have 5G cellular subscription. It has already been tested, and soon by the end of 2022 or by the starting of 2023, the cellular companies will be launching their 5G plans. It is under the testing, and the installation of all those network has been already been made available by these top industries which are existing in the telecom market. So this is about the market description of IoT. The revenues, they are mind-boggling. Around $212 billion industry across the globe has already been taken up in the shape. And hardware is growing up to the rocket speed of 45% increase in every year. So this is the tremendous amount of growth in the hardware industry regarding the IoT. The number of number of cellulars to IoT connection is expected to reach about 3.5 billion in 2023. So companies will invest around 15 trillion. Check the words. Our companies is going to invest around 15 trillion in IoT industry by 2027. So this is the number of amount or the financials that are going to be taken up by the industry. So the market size, as per the industry size, as per the growth market index, the IoT market is shooting up like anything else. Smart factories are predicted to be having more than $500 billion investment in 2022 and other industries. Around, so self-driving works it is expected that around 29% of the world's self-driving fleet will be on the roads by 2035. That means we would be seeing that already the driverless car concept has been materialized, and we all see across the globe the testing is going on towards the practical implementation of the self-driving cars in the congestion environment also. So as the technology grows, the data transmission rate will grow faster and faster. In 5G technology, the transmission of the driverless car will be more and more. And as we all predict, the driverless cars, with the driverless cars, there will be less accidents and less amount of traffic in the system. All these networks will be controlled by the IoT devices. The IoT market is predicted to be the, as I have already told you, that it will be going to be a very huge amount. The biggest reason of investment in IoT is the cost reduction. As day by day, many industries are coming up, and they all are working for the research and developments are going on in the IoT sector. The industry is going at the very fast pace. So this is about the market prediction of about the growth and overview about the IoT industry. The global IoT market has already reached, that I have already told you about, $15 trillion will be spent up to 2030 by the various companies. So of course, it is a IoT is the network of internet interconnected devices that constantly is expanding. We are 100% sure that it is going to be expand, and all the devices will be interconnected at some of the point in the future. devices have been connected to the internet since the first introduction in 1995, but the rate at which they are recoming online and the variety of these devices is growing every day. The internet is not just about the computers, laptops anymore right now. We cannot say that internet is okay, just we have connected with the computers, we have connected with the laptops, we are connected with the mobiles, and that's all. It is all about the internet. It has become an essential part of our everyday activities. From our something at the basic as a small toys being applied to a large part of your house, everything can be converted into application on the net, and hence the scope and the progress of future development of IoT is limitless. So how next, when we move ahead, we go to the next slide of our presentation, that is, as it is, I have already told you that the Internet of Things market is 1.5 trillion in will be trillion in 2030. 24.1 billion interconnected devices will be there. So this is we have already discussed. Now, how IoT works? What are the basic ingredients that are involved in IoT? So in IoT, basically there are, we can check it that there are around four basic pillars, four basic components that are arranged and that make to work all together the IoT. These are sensor devices, connectivity, data processing, and user interface. So these basic four devices, when are interconnected together, then Internet of Things will start working. So when we talk about IoT sensors and IoT devices, how IoT is working. So a complete IoT system immigrates from four distinct components. That these are sensors, connectivity, data processing, and user interface. So what the sensor is? First, the sensor or the device that collects data from the environment. This could be as simple as a temperature reading, as a complex as the full video feed. We can see that at a particular place, some point, we can have a simple kind of a digital temperature reading device, and at the traffic light signal where we are having the complex video feed to check up all the activities. So these sensor devices have multiple senses can be bundled together, or sensors can be part of a device that does more than just the senses things. For example, our phone is a device that has multiple sensors, that is cameras, accelerometer, GPS, etc. But our phone is not just a sensor. So this is a sensor may all be the combination of different sensors altogether. However, whether it is a standalone sensor or a full device, in its first step, the data is being collected from the environment by something. So the essential thing is that whatever the medium may be, the sensor is the basic activity by which we collect the data from the environment. Then moving ahead, the connectivity. Connectivity means the data is sent to the cloud, maybe cloud or the internet. Cloud is another term that we are right now using it very commonly. Cloud basically is the place where we upload our data without having the foundation of the geographical foundation of the physical devices that where we are storing our data. So it is up to the another technology. This is another different area where the cloud is considered, but it needs a way to gather it there. The sensor devices can be connected to the cloud through a variety of methods, including cellular, satellite, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, low power wide area networks, or connecting directly to the internet via Ethernet. So these are the terms which we will be looking forward in the this protocols also. Each option has trades off between the power consumption, range of bandwidths. Choosing which connectivity option is the best comes down to the specific IoT applications. But to the specific IoT applications, but all are accomplished at the same task, getting the data to the cloud. Through this, all these same kind of activity is being performed. So next, after that, the data processing. So another important thing is the data processing. Once the data gets to the cloud, the software performs some kind of processing on it. As we all know, the computer is made up of only three things, that is input, processing and output. Once the data has been received by the system, so that system has to process about it. This could be very simple, such as checking that the temperature is reading within the particular acceptable range or not, or it could be very complex, such as using a computer version on a video to identify an object, such as intruders in your house. So this is an example of data processing. But what happens when the temperature is too high, or if the intruder is in your house, then where is the some user comes in? So this is the main important activity that the IoT gadgets performs. You will see that thing. Then next is the user interface. User interface is the information is made used to end users in some of the way. This could via alert to the users in the form of email, text notification, or etc. For example, a text alert is received by us when a temperature goes too low or in the company's cold storage. So this is another kind of message. Also, a user might have an interface that allows them to proactively check in on the way some the system. For example, a user might want to check the video feeds in their house via a phone or app with the help of a browser. So however, it's not a one way street. Depending on the IoT applications, the user may be able to perform an action and affect the system. For example, the user might remotely adjust the temperature in the cold storage via an app on their phone, and some actions that could perform automatically rather than waiting for us to adjust the temperature. The system could do it automatically via predefined rules, and rather than just a call to alert an intruder, the IoT system could automatically notify to the relevant authorities. So this is how the basically the various actions that system performs using the various IoT activities. So next is how the IoT architecture works. So basically, IoT architecture is this in this way, where some things means those interconnected devices through a particular gateway sends their data for the processing towards the cloud. Now here comes another important technology that we will be going to discuss at the end, that is edge computing. Edge computing, it is another kind of technology that is going to be prevailed in the next coming future, coming within 4 to 5 years. You will be listening it towards many more activities of the edge computing. So in this architecture, there are three basic pillars where things are connected through a gateway to the cloud, from where the processing of the activity is performed, and accordingly through the gateway the actions are being performed for the various kind of activities that are associated with the Internet of Things. So next is basically what this architecture is divided about. So in commonly as such, there is no single consensus on the architecture of the IoT which is agreed on universally. Different architectures have been proposed from different time to time by researchers, but basically what we are seeing right now, we can define these architectures as per the industry requirements in the three basic categories, that is three layer architecture, SOA based architecture, middleware based architecture. So these are the basic three type of architectures that we are going to discuss right now. A generic three level architecture. It is a generic high level architecture composed of three layers, has been introduced uh, some way back, like perception, network, and application. Perception here means which represents the physical layer of the object and all group of the features. Matlab means all these perceptions means the physical layers of the objects are grouped together in the perception. That is, all the things are interconnected with each other, and they are grouped together as the perceptions, where they sense the data for the various applications and processing towards the various other layers. Next is the network, which represents the communication layer responsible for the transmission of data to the application layer through the various technologies and protocols. Means things which have sensed the data and collected the real-time data for the execution, it will be transmitted through some network mode, maybe wireless, maybe physical, maybe abstract, or maybe via satellite communication to the application mode, where it will be processed for the further activities. Now, third is the application in the three-layer architecture, which represents the application layer, where the software is offering a specific services actually implemented. That means where the application layer is the place where actual processing of the data is being done through the use of softwares, where we have some set of rules, set of softwares which will perform according action as per the requirement of that particular system. So this is the simplest form of architecture, that is three-layer architecture, where perception layer, network layer, and application layer exist. Next is the SOA based architecture, that is service oriented based architecture. SOA means service oriented based architecture. This in general, the service oriented architecture is the component model based, which can be designed to connect different functional units of the application through interface and protocols. SOA is designed to coordinate service and enable the reuse of the software and hardware components. SOA can be easily integrated to the IoT architecture, extending the three-layer architecture, adding a new layer between the network layer and the application layer. So this is the important aspect, that it adds a new layer between the network layer and application layer, called the service layer, which provides a service to the support the application layer. This represents the fourth layer SOA based IoT architecture, in which there are perception layer, the network layer, the service layer, and the finally application layer. Here there is a new layer that integrates SOA architecture functionalities. It is different from the previously described architecture. The service layer consists of service discovery, service composition, service management, and service interface. The service discovery is used to discover service discovery, service composition, service management, and service interface. Service discovery is used to discover the services, service request. Service composition, it is used to interact with the connected objects integrated and services to the request the efficient way. The service management is used to manage the and determine the trust mechanism to understand the service request services interface. Am I audible to you all? Alok ji? Am I audible? Yes. Okay. I think something. So this is service based architecture. Next is the middleware based architecture. So middleware based architecture, another important and very common architecture in IoT is the middleware based IoT architecture, having the 5 layers. In the recent the proposed architecture needs address many functions like scalability, interportability, reliability, QoS, etc. In this regard, the middleware based IoT architecture assists in creating applications more efficiently. This layer acts as a connection between the application data, and users. In fact, IoT development depends on the technology progress and design of various new applications and business models. To allow these characteristics and many other 5-layer architecture has been proposed, which is composed of 5 layers. Which are these? These are perception layer, network layer, middleware layer, application layer, and the business layer. In particular, middleware has some critical functionalities such as aggregation and filtering the received data from the hardware devices, performing the information discovery, and providing access to the control of device application. In general, middleware software is also service program that can provide an abstract interpose between the IoT technologies and the application. In the middleware, details to different technologies are hidden and standard interface are provided to enable the developer to the focus of the development of application, which could consider the compatibility between the application and the infrastructures. So this is about the basic development of middleware technology. So in general, middleware is a software or a service program that can provide abstract interpose between the IoT technologies and the application. In middleware, the details of the different technologies are hidden and the standard interface are provided to enable the developers the focus from the development of the application without considering the compatibility between the application and infrastructure. Means the application will be developed and the infrastructure compatibility is not taken up as the issue. The compatibility will be automatically taken care of by the other layers. So this is expected that the program from the exact knowledge of the variant set of technologies adopted by the various layers. So the advantages of this middleware are it supports the various applications, runs on the various operating system and various platforms, because as we have mentioned that it is the platform independent activities where the programmer does not have to worry about the compatibility of the hardware and the software. So the software and hardware compatibility issue will be taken up by the other other layers also. So distributed computing in the interaction of the service along the heterogeneous network devices and application, support of hardware standard protocols. So these are the various advantages of the middleware based architecture. So this is about something the various architectures that the IoT is having. Now moving ahead with the next is, this is the examples of the Internet of Things device that you all are aware about, that the light bulb that can be switched on using the smartphone app on IoT devices is a motion sensor or the smart thermostat in your office connected to the street light. Means with the application that we are going to develop doing the practical application right after the towards the end of this presentation, where we will be developing a application using software and hardware tools and through some interconnected devices using some middleware architecture, where the practically how that things with the software, with the hardware and the middleware and with the IoT devices, we are controlling these smart lighting system. And IoT device could be fully IoT device could be as fluffy as the child toy or as serious as the driverless truck. So we have seen the driverless trucks are being tested on the roads by the some of the companies in the Northern Americans, and this soft toys that we are using as a in our day-to-day life, they are becoming very popular examples. So these are some of the examples of the IoT devices. Now next, IoT protocols. We have seen a lot, we have heard about lot about the IoT, how IoT is, what are the IoT's application areas of IoT and how IoT is working. So now what are the basic protocols that IoT is working on with? So these are some of the protocols that IoT is basically working on. So IoT protocols, basically the wireless hardware used in the IoT are the nodes and the base stations. Nodes or the clients are the device that connect to the base station. Clearly understand it. I'll repeat it again. So this is the basic fundamental that what IoT protocols and how protocols are being used. The wireless hardware used in the IoT are the nodes or the base station. Base station or the nodes are those points where we are using it through the wireless. Nodes or the clients are the devices that connects to the base station. Nodes or the clients are those which are connected towards the base station. Base stations are the basically the routers, wireless routers or the wireless gateways or the firewalls that we are connected with. So up why IoT protocols are important and what are the types of these protocols are. As we are seeing in the slide that there are variety of protocols that are being used with the IoT. So the ability to interact with each other and resolve common problems is what separates the IoT device from the traditional computers. The interactions are only possible if there is a medium or means of communication in the IoT ecosystem. The IoT protocols are thus the common language that allows the device to interconnect the other IoT device. The IoT protocols also lays down a standard that are adopted in every IoT ecosystem for proper functioning and to avoid security threats. There is no universal protocol that helps in communicating all IoT devices yet. The OMA lightweight protocol manages the devices easily and offers adaptive solutions. So in general, there is no, as we have seen that the number of IoT devices existing in the system are very huge. So there is no common senses up till now that this such kind of protocol will be used and the data will be transmitted through these protocols only. So in general, what we are seeing right now is the various protocols that are being used by the IoT as IoT protocols. Initially, first is the IoT data protocols. So there are wide range of IoT data protocols that are being available. So moving ahead quickly is that we are having IoT message queuing telemetry transport, MQTT. MQTT is the full form is message queuing telemetry transport. So basically what this protocol is, MQTT is one of the prime IoT protocol. It is the type of protocol for used for the communication protocol and that is famous in gaining popularity towards the transportation of the messages through publish subscribe messaging in lightweight and easy transfer data between two or more machines. So device share information through broken or the servers. Download the broken in your PC, Mac, system, etc. The most common brokers available in the market days are HiveCube and Mosquito. These are some devices, softwares that has to be installed for this MQTT protocol. So MQTT is the different regular client server model. It is not the normal client server model. We are not going into the details of these protocols, but I am just giving you the overview that how you can understand these MQTT protocol. Next, so in this slide you can see that the MQTT protocol is where it is being used MQTT broker and the data is being collected from the things to the broker and from there it is being sent to the laptop or to the mobile and where it is being from where it is returned back. So this is the MQTT protocol where it is used. Next is the data distribution service. Before that, advanced message queuing protocol. Next is the advanced message queuing protocol, where some advancement has been made in this protocol. Then the next one is the data distribution services protocol. Next one is the data distribution service protocol. Then after that, the concentrated application protocol, COAP. This is another commonly used protocol that is widely used in the various telecommunication data distribution services on the concentrated application protocol, COAP. This is internet and concentrated environments. This is the COAP environment where we are using it as a promising IoT protocol, which is similar to the HTTP protocol. As it is in the way that HTTP protocol was used. However, COAP is designed to fulfill the needs of the concentrated nodes. The packets in the COAP are much similar to the size when you compare with the HTTP, TCP. The COAP operates through the UDP. It operates using the client and servers relative information through the connectionless datagrams. COAP permits UDP broadcast in multicast to address. So this is about the COAP system. Then next is the extensible message and presence protocol, XMPP, extensible message and protocol. So these are the protocols that we have discussed about, some of the protocols. Next is the IoT network protocols. IoT network protocols means the wireless body area network, WBAN, that is wireless body area network, where the word, this is the figure where you can see this network is basically such as the body area network. We can identify it as the body area network. Body basically means a medical body or body sensor network. They form close connections that are usually within the 10 centimeters to 1 meter range. The common includes the Bluetooth, NFC, Zigbee, RFID, and various other priority technologies. So these are the W-band. W-band basically means the wireless body area network, where we are connected with the some kind of say through that blood pressure, pulse oximeter, or ECG, motion sensor, and these all are interconnected devices that are used in the very much used available in the medical industry. So wireless personal area network is the next protocol. Wireless local area network is another local area network that is being used in the various system. After that, this a coverage of this particular protocol is more as compared to WBAN and wireless WLAN. And there is another kind of system that is known as the wireless metropolitan area network, WMANs. WMANs means where the wirelessly the systems are interconnected with each other. The network covers up the large area such as city or the state. The network is capable of housing an electric entire city in the various devices around the city can easily connect to this particular network. So this is kind of wireless area network where we normally use in our cities, that the transport system at the various signal points we are having the concept of the where we are having the concept of the smart traffic management, where the traffic signals are being controlled through wireless system in the system. The next another is the wireless wide area network. Wireless wide area network is another common kind of network that provides the connection between the much larger scale as compared to WMAN. It is capable of providing communication across the globe as well. That is used through the basically that kind of system uses this satellite communication, where for example, we are having satellite phones, satellite TVs, and satellite communication system is there, where from the one part of the globe we send signals to the satellite, and from that satellite we receive the signal to the other part of the globe. So these kind of wireless area network system are also available. So these are the various protocols that are being used in the IoT devices. So another example of protocols used by our IoT devices is, so these I will just going to name them. I'm not going to discuss these protocols in very detail. There's LTE. LTE you must have been aware of that all our networks are right now connected through LTE. LTE basically it gives the gateway of cellular devices. Generally, the wireless devices that are connected to the gateway, and these gateways talk to 5G or 4G network, so that we can link all our IoT devices in through that LTE. Another term is that the 5G. 5G is the next coming 5G frequency range bands that will be commonly used by our cellular operators in coming days, and these are being tested heavily under the various frequency band known as FR1 and FR2. FR1 and 2 are the wavelengths and millimeter wavelength technology, which in which the frequency band keeps changing over a period of time, and the new bands are added constantly. So this kind of technology is 5G technology, where this is just an basic overview about the 5G technology that will be coming up soon, will be publicly available to all of us. Then the cellular networks, service provider network, private network, Bluetooth, and BEL network group. Bluetooth, it is the interconnection between the smartphone and the IoT device. It can be connected through Bluetooth SIG, also known as the Bluetooth Special Interest Group controls, and Bluetooth Low Energy. BLE is Bluetooth Low Energy or Bluetooth 4. Recently, it is recently discovered. It consumes very less energy due to less power consumptions. BLE makes it possible to connect the devices with a small battery lives. It exchanges the small data packages. Very small packages of the data are being used. So this is another. I'll show you. BLE is the BLE is a Bluetooth sensor, where like in wireless, our mobile phone, smart tablets or smartphone, we are using very low energy consumption to get connected to the various routers available at the various places. This is the low LoRa WAN. LoRa WAN basically, this is the low range WAN. This is where we can you can understand that where the low RA band are available, with the help of which we can connect our commonly used devices to these various classes. They are container of different devices of class A, B, and C. Class A contains the battery powered sensors. Class B contains the both battery powered sensors and the actuators, and finally class C are the main powered accusenters. So the low range and low WAN systems are also available for the various devices. Then next protocol is the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi basically what basically is, it is the radio frequency protocol, and it transmits the data at the frequency range of 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz. These frequencies are higher than other cellular network frequencies. We have seen above, अभी तक जो हमने देखी उनसे better है ये. Yet the Wi-Fi has the high power consumption and the low range connectivity. Wi-Fi works best for the IoT devices that do not care about the power drain, or the device that do not require the higher range, such as the smart homes. हमारे smart homes में we use this Wi-Fi technology, where the power Wi-Fi device is constantly connected with the various power supply situations. In this Wi-Fi, we have got Z-Waves, Zigbees, 6 low WAN, and these are the various architectures that are available in this Wi-Fi activities. Then next is the HTTP protocol. It is we all are aware about this HTTP protocol. It is very commonly communicated through HTTP protocol. It supports the web browsers and server functionalities. HTTP is the most supportive and the currently used across the globe. So next protocol is the WebSockets. WebSockets are the those protocols that performs a few issues that are available in the HTTP protocol that are served through the WebSockets. While HTTP, we can connect request update for the updates, whereas the WebSockets do not get the real-time update continuously. So client-server model, the communication through TCP/IP connections, WebSockets fixes the latency in the HTTP server. Where there is a client-server connection, the WebSockets are being properly used in place of the HTTP protocol. Next is the NFC. NFC is the full form of NFC is the near field communication. It builds the communication for the ranges as short as 4 centimeter or few centimeters. We can share the small amount of data from NFC tag and another Android devices or between two Android devices. NFC can be read and written through NFC tags. It can exchange the data with NFC companions and can behave as NFC cards. Another protocol is the Sigfox. Sigfox offers the low power connectivity solutions for the IoT technologies. It is a L low power LWPA network requires the lower battery consumption. It offers the best customer user experience. Sigfox uses the 192 kilohertz band for transferring the messages. It is the band at which it uses the message transmission. The transmission are the narrow and the data transfer happens at an accurate rate. Here is the list. Then next is the Newell. Newell is an IoT protocol that connects everything at an economical cost. The Newell methodology, the practical, it is similar to the Sigfox. Newell works with the small pieces with the TV white space spectrum to offer the wider scalable network. Newell is the weightless communication technology and matches to the IoT protocols such as the GPRS, CDMA, LTE, WAN, etc. So these are some of the protocols that are being used in the IoT system. This is about the overall view of the IoT architecture and the protocols. So next is the some benefits that IoT is giving to the organizations, most of the organization. So these are the common benefits that every organization is getting out, like is unprecedented possibilities, improved customer experience. So these are the benefits that IoT is giving to the various in the various organizations. Reduce the operational cost. IoT, with the help of IoT, the operational cost is reduced. It elevates the productivity. With the implementation of IoT, many industries are elevating their productivity. Better asset utilization. With the minimum available resources, the organizations are using it very efficiently. Improved safety and security. Safety and security has been improved tremendously with the use of IoT devices. Real-time analytics of any system can be available, as we have seen the growing use of real-time analysis in satellite communication, agriculture, medical, hospitality, etc. These are growing very rapid pace. So real-time analytics is very easily with the IoT devices. It empowers the business verticals. Various business verticals are being empowered with the help of this IoT. It gets where easily we are able to get the historical data about the cost and prediction and availability, scalability of the organization. We can monitor overall business process can be monitored, save a huge amount of time and money. It makes the better business decision and generates the more revenues to the organizations. So these are some of the benefits that the IoT is giving to the organizations. So use of smart devices, operational cost reduction, enhanced security measure, gathering the rich data, achieving the customer uh, feedback, etc. So these are the some of the devices that benefits that organizations are gaining. So why Internet of Things is so important? Now, as we all are aware, we have heard everything that Internet of Things is such a basic entity, and all these things are related, interrelated with each other. So, Internet has become a very important aspect in our daily life. Over the past few years, IoT has become one of the most important technologies in the 21st century. It has surpassed the various other technologies, and with the blend of other technologies, IoT is gaining popularity very at tremendous pace. Now we can connect everyday objects of the kitchen appliances, cars, thermometers, monitors, and security system, traffic signals. Each and everything can be connected, interconnected, which has got their own advantages, with the help of which we are moving ahead. By means of low computing and cloud computing, big data analytics, mobile technologies, physical things can be shared and collected with the minimal human intervention. Means with the help of these interactive devices, we are able to gather those data in the huge amount and process those data effectively with the help of the available systems. So these are the benefits of the Internet of Things. Now these are some of the applications of the IoT in the before moving to this slide. Uh, these are the application of the IoT that were taken place in the last few years. That is uh, smart homes. The IoT devices are being utilized with 100% utilization. Wearable devices, another industry which is flourishing very very fast pace. The smart city concept is growing tremendously. Next important, very important concept is growing, gaining ahead nowadays is the smart grid. Smart grid is the basic thing through which we are getting interconnected the energy sources towards the utilization in the efficient manner. Then the industrial use of IoT devices, it is being used in the 25%. Then the connected cars. Now it is growing. It at this point of time we can say it is very less in the number, but in the future the interconnected car system, driverless car will be very huge market. Interconnected health. Health is another telemedicine concept which we are sharing right now. As in the my starting lecture note, I have described you about the in health system also, that how that interconnected system is being prevailed in the ancient time, and now the telemedicine system is prevailing again. Smart retail and smart supply chain are another system that are being regularly used. So the application areas ranges way from smart home to wearables to smart cities to smart grids to industrial IoT to connected cars to healthcare, smart retail, supply chain, smart farming, and etc. So these are the various huge variety of application areas that IoT is being utilized. So you name the area, the IoT is being used. So these are some of the top industries where the IoT is being used. That is manufacturing industry, transportation and mobility, energy sector, retail sector, smart cities. We have initially seen that our Honorable Prime Minister has also launched the 100 smart city concept during his second tenure, and these smart city concepts are being effectively utilized, and many states have completed their first phase of that particular smart city project, and across the globe the smart city concept is growing very popularity, and it is estimated that by 2030 around 50% of the population will be shifting towards the cities. So cities will be requiring more livable place, more conducive environment to control the population flood that is going to increase in the cities. From the urban areas, rural areas to the urban areas, the population drift will be seen tremendously in the next decade of the 20 by 2030. We will be going to see that. So the world is already, so in many countries the smart cities are have started very effectively, and it is going on very tremendous pace. So these are some of the interconnected devices that we have discussed right now. Smart thermostat, connected cars, activity trackers, parking sensors, connecting health, wearable technologies, smart cities. So these technologies, IoT applications we have just discussed, and I hope you all are aware of all these smart applications, that is smart home, wearable, cities. So we will take a look towards this, and these are the main pillars where the IoT devices or IoT activities are being used. That is in the home appliances, home consumer, health, cities, transportation, and buildings. The smart IoT devices are being utilized efficiently and very effectively. So this is the various areas where the IoT is being used. Now, discussing, taking it towards the next level, now we will discuss about the wearable technologies. So wearable technology timeline, basically it is what this shows, that what are the wearable technologies and since when it has started, and now after 2014 where we have come away now. So in 1975 some popular watch was initiated, and then it in 1984 to 1994, then 99, 2000, some Bluetooth devices, headset devices were introduced. Then these are wearable devices that were introduced through the timeline since 1975 till 2014, when the Apple has launched its watch, Apple Watch, and it has gained the popularity. Now most of the health trackers are being tracking their technologies through this health wearable devices. Now what are these different wearable devices are? Now we are having the variable devices in the form of watch, in the form of camera, in the form of rings, in the form of bands, eye bands, and eyeglasses, and these are the various wearable technologies that you are aware of. So taking look at the various again variable technologies are like, we will discuss some and very fastly, like smart watches. You all are aware smart watches are like commonly known as the most common smart wearable that we are using right now. Connecting a smart watch to a smartphone is that where that read and send the messages from the watch, is eliminating the need to hold the one's phone, and the smartwatch designers are feeding it a new ways to innovate, that starting a series from some product line that ensure to obtain the electrogram. They take the ECG, and health monitoring system are also being attached nowadays to the smart watches. So from the smart watches to the smart jewelries also. The smart jewelry, the smart jewelries is the logical use of ongoing research, that how they include the health tracking capabilities to the small smart wearables. The most phenomenal kind of smart jewelry is the smart ring that you are that I have shown you in the previous figure. That smart rings are being used. Smart jewelry exists from bangles to bracelets nowadays. To bracelets also they are being coming, and so these will become popular as the time passes away. Then fitness trackers, you all are aware about that. Fitness trackers are available, like pods are available, and apart from that some implants are also available. Implantables are also available as a fitness tracker. You implant these on your body, and by using these implantable smart devices, we are able to track and perform our monitoring systems. And with the help of these smart implants, our body health system will be maintained easily, and will be easy for us to maintain all the activities with the help of these implantables. So these implants are also being wear as a wearable device now are coming into the system. Then smart clothings are also coming. Smart clothing means once you they contain smart clothing can provide the deeper insight with a modern wearable technology and advanced tracking with the both medical care and the lifestyle improvement system are being available. So in the sports domain area, it is very commonly used that you are seeing that some swimmers that they wear the black thermostat suit so that it removes the biomechanics force of the water and they improve their efficiency. Similarly, the cricket players are also in this area, in this part of the world. We can see the players are also wearing that black suits while practicing there, that measures their body temperature and automatically displays their body temperature along with the availability of water content, availability of minerals, and those all are detected live through the software implanted in the coach as per the data analytics system there. So these are the activities that are going on. Apart from that, there are some gaming wearables are also available. With the see that this man is using this gaming gear with a head-mounted VR system, with the help of which it has been presented an environment where it is using it like he is moving in the satellite area. So these are the various IoT device applications where the IoT is being utilized by the systems. Next is the smart cities. Smart cities application of the application of the IoT in the smart cities. As we all know that the smart cities IoT is the most important area where the smart cities are in the smart cities planning. The smart cities, as we all know that India has also taken an initiative, Indian government has also taken an initiative where IoT plays a pivotal role in smart city project. The Indian government has dedicated an investment of rupees 7,060 crores on the smart cities. The idea of the smart city is in the urban center where the information technology is the key driving factor with the many technology platforms such as automated sensor networks, data centers, and many others. A smart city will be the one where the advanced terms of the infrastructure has sustainable real estate and real communication on the system. So the major focus of the smart city projects will be on the smart parking system, intelligent transport system, smart urban lighting, waste management, smart city maintenance, telecare, citizens safety, smart grids, smart energies, water management. So these will be the areas of where the smart city IoT devices will be used. So this is the basic sector where across the globe we at the India level also providing the smart city concept. 100 smart cities are being made in India, and across the globe smart city market is growing at the very rapid pace with the help of IoT devices. So this is the area and this is the prediction that how the smart city market is growing at the pace. In the North America and the Asian continent, the market is growing at the very fast pace along with the European continent. So this is the global region where how we can show that the development of smart cities is going at which pace. Now next, this part comes to the basic system where we will use project. Now I will show you I have prepared a small video that will help you all in viewing that particular video. Now I will share with you all the small video in which we will apply how this IoT project can be made. So using this IoT project, we can implement, we can make the smart home system where we will use how that smart home automation system of four. We will cover up the four lamp projects will be cover up that how we can make then application and use of some IoT devices with the help of which we will be able to make the IoT project. Now that project basically includes that the various components that will be included in that particular project are just a moment again before starting that video. So these will be the components that will be used in that particular project. These components are ESP32 microcontroller board. We will be using this microcontroller board ESP32. You can note it down. 5-volt 4-channel relay, a bulb socket, 4 bulb sockets we will be using, AC plug, we will be using plugs, 5-volt AC DC adapter to supply the power for this ESP32 microcontroller board, a breadboard. Breadboard is the where we will mount that ESP32 controller, and some jumper wires will be required. So we will use these jumper wires to connect all those activities. This ESP32 board is a microcontroller board, is Wi-Fi enabled microcontroller board that is easily available in the system. So now before going to this presentation, this is the circuit diagram that we will be making it during the presentation. I will again show you up all these present activities so that you can gain. Now just have a look at this video that is prepared for you all to have a see. This is home automation practical exposure.
In this video, we are going to be building home automation project using Arduino IoT Cloud and ESP32 microcontroller board. We can control home devices from anywhere in the world using our mobile phone or Wi-Fi connection. We will take a closer look into Arduino IoT Cloud and how to integrate it with ESP32 board. So let's get started and transform our home into a smart home. This project is divided into two parts, hardware and software. Let's first take a look into hardware connection. We will need ESP32 microcontroller board.
So this is the microcontroller ESP32 board which will be requiring. This is available easily in the market.
5-volt 4-channel relay.
This is 4-channel relay. This is 4-channel relay is being used just because so that we can use the 4 sockets to control our system. If we want the more relay channels can be used, and if we want less, then less relay channels is also utilized.
Bulb sockets, AC plug, bulbs, 5-volt AC DC adapter to power ESP32 board and relay, breadboard, and few jumper wires. Let's make a connection as per circuit.
So this is the circuit diagram that we will be using. That from each bulb socket, that one wire is going into that single relay. This blue color wire you can easily see, and this purple color wire goes into the another purple color wire is going on, and this green color wire is interconnected with each socket and through the main supply, and red color wire comes from this 4-channel relay. So one wire from the socket is enters into the relay for each bulb into the one relay each, and one wire from the red color wire comes out from the relay to the main plug, and one wire for the power supply goes to the socket. So in this way the socket is controlled through the relay, and using the jumper wires and the ESP32 socket that we will discuss right now, it will be managed.
Diagram. Mount ESP32 module onto the breadboard. Take 5-volt from AC-DC adapter and connect to breadboard power rail. Connect relay to ESP32.
Here you can easily see that relays are connected to ESP32. All relays are connected through this. This is the circuit board which through which all the power supply will be controlled. And note these ESP32 pins number. These carefully note these ESP32 pin numbers, that is 19, 18, 17 and 16, or you can reverse it 16, 17, 18, 19. This will be useful when we will be making the coding part or the software part of this IoT application. So please be carefully note this numbers.
Connect in pins to ESP32 pins as per table. Provide plus 5 volt and ground to relay. Now connect the wires to bulb sockets. Now attach bulb sockets and AC power wire to relay. Main supply wire to COM pin and one wire from socket to NO pin. Please be careful while wiring these AC connections as we are dealing with high voltages. Provide plus 5 and ground to ESP32 through V in and ground pin. Now install bulbs into sockets. Let's take a look at how we can use Arduino IoT Cloud.
This Arduino IoT Cloud is a basically the software platform where the cloud activities can be created. Our software part of this IoT application is created easily. This is a platform. It is available in the free mode as well as the paid mode also. So if you are not aware of this activity, you can note it down that Studio Arduino cloud software is available, and you can make your projects of IoT projects here very easily. It gives us the facility, it gives us the platform IDE through which the software can be easily created. To configure and upload code into ESP32 board, Arduino has launched amazing IoT cloud application to easily create IoT projects. We can configure different microcontroller boards and also write code using web editor. Type in Arduino IoT cloud and click on the link. You can just Google it, Arduino IoT cloud, and through the Google link it is very easily available. It is a very popular software that you can use. First, we need to sign up using email ID and password. If already signed up, then log in using your email ID and password. Arduino IoT Cloud provides different packages. You can go for free package and get started with it. So these are the different type of packages that are available with the Arduino IoT Cloud. Initially, while developing an initial application, we can use this free application, free software package that will allow our activity to be performed. There are some paid premium packages as well depending upon our need. After logging in, select the IoT Cloud tab. First, we need to create a thing. Click on Create New Thing. See, while designing this application, it's a very simple and a very handy platform that everybody can use it, Arduino IoT platform. And we will be using the things that initially that in our definition we have already discussed, that Internet and things, Internet of Things. So things are basically any activity or any hardware device or any physical thing that we are going to use. So as we have used our breadboard and ESP32 device for making our project right now, so we will make that ESP32 pin as a thing. Now using that particular thing, we will perform our activities. Is nothing but container where we can add our device, that is microcontroller board, and also create some variables for switches. Name the thing as home automation. Then go to the devices section and click on select option. Here we can add Arduino board or third-party board such as ESP32 or ESP8266, etc. Click on third-party boards and then select ESP32. In our case, search for ESP32 Rover module. Click continue. This is the model name, Rover model. So you can, whatever depending upon the ESP32 availability, all the models are available listed here. And name the device as MyESP32. Hit next. It will generate the device ID and secret key. Device ID and secret key are the important things that we have to take care of. So because of with the help of these device ID and the secret key only, we will be interconnecting our devices using our software part. Wherever in the software or wherever in the world we will install that particular software, we would be requiring that secret key. So this secret key can be downloaded for the application and it can be used later. We need to download this secret key so that we can use it later. Download the secret key, then select checkbox and click on continue.
Once the device is added, we need to add variables for our switches. So click on add variable. It will open add window. Here we will add our first variable and name it as switch1. You can provide any name. Then select basic types and boolean because this variable is associated with on off switch. We can select other type of variables as well based on our requirement. Similarly, add other 3 switches. After creating variables, we need to fill the network tab. These are the credentials which will be used for connecting to Wi-Fi. It also contains device secret key which we downloaded previously. So input SSID, password and device secret key. All these credentials will be added into code automatically later. Now we need to create a dashboard for our project. We need to add widgets to it. We can add switches which we created already so that we can control it easily. These will be displayed as on-off buttons on the app. For that, go to dashboard tab and click on build dashboard. Then click on edit button. Then select add. Here we can select different individual widgets. We can add widgets from the things as well.
So here we will select the things as we have already created our things, and the widgets are the options through which these are the pre-built system through which we can use whatever devices that we are making it as the availability as per our requirement. So these are the various widgets that are available: push button, slider, stepper, messenger, color controller, values, stats. And so in our project we are using it as a switch, so we have used here as a switch. So some widgets are also available. When we select the thing, it will automatically create us.
Can select different individual widgets. We can add widgets from the things as well. Select our thing which is home automation. It will automatically create different switch widgets for us and also assign the corresponding variable to each switch widget. Click on the cross option to rearrange the widgets as you like. Let's rename our dashboard and give name as my home. Now click on sketch. This sketch is automatically generated by Arduino IoT Cloud app. You can see that the code has all the lines to connect to Arduino IoT Cloud and also to Wi-Fi. This code will have a callback function for each switch we configured. Inside this function, we need to write the code to switch on relay based on variable values. We need to assign the pins to these switch variables. We will use pins as 16, 17, 18 and
So these are the pins that we have already, as I have initially told you to note down that through which pins we are connecting that particular device. These are the pins that are made available on the breadboard, and with the help of these pins only we will be controlling our lighting system. So this is the basic
and 19. If switch is on, then switch variable value will be true, else false. Let's add a digital write function to switch on off relay pin based on switch variable value. Our relay is low level triggered relay. So we need to write low, that is 0 value, to turn.
This is important here, that every ESP device has got different kind of true values and false values. Here in our case, what we have selected here is the low trigger value. So that is why when we will select that the low value, it will be true.
Turn on the relay if switch variable value is true. Else, if switch variable value is false, then write high to turn off the relay. Make the similar changes in all other callback functions to handle pin number 17, 18 and 19. One of the best feature of Arduino IoT Cloud is that we can directly upload the code from this web. For that, install the Arduino agent. I have given the link in the description.
So this is the Arduino agent that we have to install on our device, where we will be using this application for the controlling the light system. That it may be our laptop, it may be our mobile, it may be all our or any other digital gadget through which we can install our activity.
Below. Once installed, connect our ESP32 to laptop using USB cable. It will show that ESP32 is connected. After that, click on upload. The code will be compiled and uploaded into ESP32 board.
Through this part, we have this coding part has been transferred to our ESP32 board memory, and from where we will be using it.
You can also check the complete code by clicking on this Open Editor tab. And here we go. You can see the code in different tabs. You can copy this code into Arduino IDE as well if you want to upload code using regular Arduino IDE. Arduino IoT Cloud has also provided the mobile app called IoT Remote for Android as well as iOS.
So this is the IoT remote using which we will be controlling 8-hour light switch that we have created.
We just need to download the Arduino IoT remote app on mobile phone. Log in using Arduino email ID and password. Open it and your dashboard will be automatically synced in this app. Now we can control the relays using these on-off switches. Let's see how it works. Plug in AC adapter and also connect main AC plug. While making this project, I encountered one issue with ESP32 board not connecting to Arduino Cloud. I found that breadboard was faulty and ESP32 was not getting sufficient plus 5 volt through VIN pin even though I was supplying plus 5 volt. I changed the breadboard and it started working. Please make sure that ESP32 gets proper power supply.
So this is the presentation that we have seen here, and going again to our presentation. So this was the presentation that we were using through which we have created some Arduino using Arduino IoT software, hardware part and software part. We have created some IoT devices. So this was some presentation about the practical implementation of the code activities that we have used. So if you have anything related queries with this, we can share. Otherwise, we'll move ahead. Now the next things that we will be moving ahead is the future technologies. This is the part that we have learned how to create the practical implementation of IoT, how we can easily create our own smart home systems or our own technologies through which we can control. Now moving ahead with the technology, another interesting area that is coming up in our system is that there is tremendous shift towards the technology transformation. How the in future the Internet of Things will represent life? What would be the next generation that we are talking about? IoT is being talked from few years right now, very widely. But before that, we have also heard some special technology that we were using. That special technology was we all were aware about the AI. I think you all must aware about the AI. AI was the artificial intelligence. Now, what artificial intelligence has to do with this IoT? Now, this is how IoT, if blended with the AI, will convert into the AIoT. What? Yes, you are right. It is artificial intelligence combining with the Internet of Things will make artificial Internet intelligence of things. Yes, this is the future. This is what we will be predicting in 2030. With the help of this AIoT, researchers are right now performing various kind of research on this AIoT right now. And the future technology will be AIoT. AI is an independent activity, independent technology that is working in collaboration in hand to hand with artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning. So these are all the activities that the system are getting self intelligence. They are becoming intelligent day by day. Now with the advancement or with the inclusion or with the embedded application of IoT, AI will become the artificial intelligence of things. Means, as we have already seen, you have already heard about some kind of various supercomputers that they are performing the humanoid activities. There is a one robot that is talking to the humans on every aspect. That you all are aware of that particular robot. So what is that? It is artificial intelligence of things. Now with the help of those activities, the market is going to changed tremendously. In coming future, the Internet of Things will be completely transformed into the Internet artificial intelligence of things. What this artificial intelligence of things is? The Internet of Things is a technology that is helping us to regime the daily life, but the artificial intelligence is the real driving force behind IoT's full potential. So when AI meets with the IoT, it forms the basic application of tracking our fitness level to the wide range of the potential across the industries to the urban planning, and growing the partnership between the AI and IoT means that the smart future could occur sooner than we think. जितना हम सोच रहे हैं उससे बहुत जल्दी the smart future is coming towards us. The AI plus IoT is becomes the superpower of the innovation. Superpower of the innovation: IoT devices that are used in the internet community collect and exchange the information about our online activities. Every day, around 1 billion GB of data is being produced. Can you imagine? 1 billion GB of data is produced every day by the AI and IoT technologies. By 2025, it is expected to cross the 42 billion IoT interconnected devices globally, and it's only the natural that these devices, as the number grows, the swath of the data will too. Then what AI steps in? The legendary the capabilities of the connectivity to the IoT, the artificial intelligence is programmed. The major IoT segments that will be covered up will be through these things that we are already seeing. The three key technologies that will be transforming our near future will be the artificial intelligence, 5G connections, and the big data. As we are all on the verge of transformation, we are seeing with our own eyes the transformation of activities. That the three key technologies are these: 5G, when it will be available, the speed of the data transmission will transform ourselves, and how the big data will be processed through the artificial intelligence to make the artificial intelligence and the Internet of Things predictable and the implementable. So these are the future technologies that is going to transform us. Next, IoT major segments. These will be the major IoT segments that will be covering up with the AIoT. That is the wearable devices that we are already talked about in the IoT. The IoT has already created very major change in the wearables. Then with the advancement in the AI, the wearables will definitely going to transfer the industry, and the growth of industry will be at the tremendous space. Then the smart homes and the smart cities. Smart homes and the smart cities will be the next big billion market, billion industry market for next coming decades. The industries are already pumping their sources in the smart home appliances and the smart city manufacturing. So the intelligent transport management system in the smart cities and the will already being floated into the system, and as the driverless cars, driverless trucks, and driverless mobility systems are in the existence. And we here in India have also seen that the driverless metros are into the reality right now. We have witnessed that the driverless metro is running in Indian city also. The smart industries will open up in the next phase of the industry, where the we have got more than 80% of the enterprise will shifting themselves towards the IoT projects, and the major IoT boom will be towards this IoT based and AI and IoT based industries. So this is about all the activities that AI will be shipping up, the future technologies that will be coming up into the future. So these are some of the challenges that IoT industry will be facing right now. This is insufficient testing and updating because of the less purification of the data and less speed of the data at which it is being gathered. concerned regarding the data security and privacy is every day we see that cyber crime are growing up very rapidly. Softwares are very complex. Data volume is interpreted. Integration of the AI and automation. Devices require very constant power supply. So it is very important to have the important power supply interactions also. So these are some of the challenges that AI is facing, and advantages we have already discussed about everything, that what are the advantages of AI, IoT. So this, with this we comes to the end of our presentation, where I have presented and tried to give you an overview regarding the activities that IoT industry will be taking up. So now it is over to the audience, that if they have any kind of queries or how they have liked the presentation, they can give their feedback, and if they have any kind of query, they are feel I'm ready to respond to you all. Alok ji, to the organizers.
Hello. Sir.
Sir, if the audience have any query,
Hello.
we
Hello.
can respond to them.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, please.
Yes, sir. This is Dr. Bashir Muhammad from Ashoka Women's Engineering College, Kurnool. We had a wonderful presentation. It was very excellent, and you gave us the practical knowledge also by giving a video presentation. It was very nice, wonderful. Thank you so much for that. And could you please share your presentation in the WhatsApp group?
Sure. My presentation is will be made available to the organizers, and you can directly communicate with the organizers. They will.
Okay, sir. I request the organizers to share the presentation in the WhatsApp group. Please, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ashok.
Hello.
Any other?
Yes, sir. Sir, a PPT will be shared after completion of the FDP.
Alok sir.
Hello.
Hello. Alok sir.
हाँ sir, आशीष sir.
हाँ sir, आप respond to this.
हाँ सर सर वही मैं कह रहा हूँ कि जो पीपीटी है आफ्टर जो एफडीपी है कंप्लीट होंगी 5 days के बाद में हम व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे कर देंगे.
Sure. So PPTs will be shared with all the participants after the completion of this completion of this FDP course. So till then, please join with this course. And basically, this is a very wonderful initiative by the AICT along with the CEG. CEG has taken really very tremendous effort to gather all the galaxies of the trainers with you all. So they have really taken a very huge pain. So it will be really a great